Hello everybody. Happy to be here streaming tonight with Bagong, my co-caster. We'll be streaming this
What's up?
match against Orange Bracket teams. Go ahead and introduce yourself as well.
Yo, what's up, guys? Begong, back again, being co-caster, so you don't have to work with my vomit camera work from yesterday.
There we go. My vomit can't work this time. I might knock the stream down a little bit in terms of bitrate just to see if that clears up the jitteriness, but I'll keep an eye on it and see how it goes. In any case, we're looking at a really fun matchup today from two Orange Bracket teams, so fairly new to PIL. In the effort of saving time, though, I'm going to go ahead and skip right towards the schedule versus in rosters. So scheduling-wise, we only have one more match tonight, I believe. Unless I have that mistaken. But in any case, we're nearing the end of matches for tonight with most of the NA teams left. But the two teams we have tonight are BRTD versus not BRTD. One of them is Dawn. So go ahead and let me fix that, but I'll deal with that later. Sorry, Dawn versus BRTD. Rosters-wise, we've got... You know what? I'm going to fix that right now because that's really killing me. Fix it later. Taking too long to fix now. Sorry. So rosters wise, we've got on the Team Prowler main side, we've got Frederick, General WM1, Aboleth, who I recognize the name of, Sarforial, Alrissa, and Polytechnique. And then on the other side, we've got Axden, Erg, Hendy, Prodigal, Torn Falcon, and Helmsby. So these are all very new names. I don't recognize the majority of them, but you know that's how it is with Orange Bracket team.
Yeah.
Best of one map.
There. On check.
Yeah, so gotta fix. Sorry, I think I pulled up my maps for the wrong game, unfortunately. So Chak tonight, but you guys have seen these before. Sorry for the scuffed stream. We'll pull up the match camera because I know I can't mess that one up too badly, and we'll take a look at the map before we start. So this is Chak. We've seen this one played out already. We had a match earlier today with Addypick casting that one. Dawn seems to be on the TR side, so just to clear up that confusion there. And they're starting on the side with the tree, so this is the eastern side of the base. They'll primarily come in through this door here in the powerhouse, and then push into either door 1 here, or around the side into door 3. And this is the main building where most of the fighting will take place. On the other side, we move to the VS team. We have BRTD here, I believe. Or did I say Dawn? I forget which one. And they're all in the bubble, so I can't see them, but they're starting on the hillside, which I believe gives them a bit of an advantage, at least in my opinion, holding the door 1, door 3 angle really aggressively when you're on the Vanu side, I find tends to work better. But we'll see how these teams play out. I know both are fairly new, and I'm interested to see if they have strats planned out or if they're just going to kind of throw themselves on the point a la pickups in live.
It's just a loading screen. I think
Games, but
I think so. Maybe, I don't know.
Reloaded the scene. Let's see if that fixes it.
It's just a black screen now.
Oh, come on.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. The capture wasn't working properly for some reason. It's okay, that's what these early matches are for. Sorry about that. There we go. We're back in line. So we got some minutes left before the cast actually starts, before the match starts with the refs getting ready. Is there anything, Bagong, that you're interested in taking a look at with these fairly new teams?
Since they're fairly new, I just want to know if they know about the LA drops that could happen, especially coming from the west side or the hill spawn side of this base. The LA really has a strong hold over top of door 1 because of just how many angles that they can peek, and that's for the most part being a new team. I don't know if they know they can go up the fat stairs in that powerhouse and then come out up onto balcony. So it's going to be really interesting to see if they, are going to be fall to that usual thing in like pugs and stuff like that, where they just run through that door of powerhouse to go in door 1 and then just get dropped on by LAs. So interesting how much knowledge these news teams have from either watching matches or just playing pre-season scrims. That's all I really have.
Yep, no, I'll agree with that. And I think a lot of the prep work that we see from the blue bracket teams, I don't know if we've seen the same in the orange bracket. I think for them, a lot of the learning comes from exactly like you said, watching other streams, watching how other teams have played it, because, trial and error on some of these 6v6 maps can only get you so far. And at a certain point, it's just about actually watching better teams play or playing against better teams. I do wonder if we're going to get daytime, though. I guess that's up to the refs or the admin. If we're gonna get some daylight here, but in any case, it'll still be a pretty stream to watch.
Yeah, so I'm not familiar with, I don't think any of the names on either side of the match right now. So hopefully we can, I mean, yesterday had a really close match between ATP and Prey. I hope this will be another match that's like this, where, not one team has a standout, top
Stomp
fragger.
on the
Just
other one, yeah.
everyone is, pretty even and can get something done, and it's going to be, trades and, a good contention over point the entire time.
Yep. So one thing I will note about Czech compared to other maps is that it's a very flank-heavy base, and it's very flank-heavy base. Sorry, as I was saying, and man, just one thing after another. And unlike maps like Ganon or Rashnu, where it's either fast-paced or very linear, very obvious where you need to go, Czech is one that emphasizes team play and coordination when pushing from different angles. And that was one of the issues that we saw in the match this morning against I and RA, where I was just struggling to push against the lockout that RA had, and they weren't able to push together. So I'm really hoping that in this map, we'll see both teams, flanking and then pushing those flanks at the exact same time, because that's how you're going to be able to win your fights, is when you're pushing, your 6 heavies or 5 heavies and a light assault or whatever your comp is at the same time from different doors. So at this point, I know stream is getting ready for a game. At this point, we're just waiting for the ref to sort out cap and scoring and stuff before we get ready.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see what the team comps are going to be from each team, if it's going to be the standard setup of a Bolt, 4 heavies, and an LA, or if there's going to be a different setup for what they want to do.
Apologies for interrupting, guys. I know you're on stream. You guys using ServerScript? Second one?
We are? Yep.
Okay, cool. Just double checking.
Yep.
I'll jump back down.
User left your channel.
So one thing that Turtle script, I mean, it's a fantastic script. I really want to thank Turtle for making 66 possible here. But one thing that we've improved on, I guess, with the recent seasons of PIL is taking it off the streamer's PC and
to your channel.
and putting it in the cloud. So that way we can just pop the stream overlay directly into OBS, and we don't have to worry about mismatch between what the ref has and what we have. So what we see is exactly what the ref has too. So there's never any discrepancy there. Zoom in that map a bit. Everyone's in their buses more or less, so I can't see the loadouts. But I'm willing to bet that they're going to stick to the standard 1 LA, 1 Bolt, 4 heavy, only because that's what most blue bracket teams are doing. And if I'm an orange bracket team and I'm new to 6v6, I'm probably going to copy what the most people are doing.
For sure. I mean, if there's a meta, you got to follow it, or else it's gonna end badly.
I mean, we say that, then BHOT comes over the roof with 6 Drifter LAs.
That was a Bax B move, actually. That
I think it was both
first.
of them. Both of them tried that.
No, it was claimed by Gelos last night as being the first ones to do it.
Oh, there you go. First in PIL. I guess I'll go over the base a little bit more for people who might be new to Czech. I think we have most of the viewers right now are people that have already played this map, or at least have seen it played. But for people who are unfamiliar, if I start calling things out, door 1, this door here, this is going to be the main entrance for one team. Fat stairs going up into top of Fat and then into server room. These 2 doors on this side of server room are called Dubs doors, so you'll often see teams pushing in. So the Hill team will usually push in through this door, or at least get a flank going through this door. This railing here is a nasty spot because what you do is you set a bolter right on this railing and you've got clear line of sight of anybody pushing into Dubs. Get a good couple spots off, and if you're lucky, a quick pick, and then you can back into Dubs. Flipping around the other side of the base, we've got skinny door or point door and skinny stairs. So this is really convenient for, I want to say, the Western team because they have really quick access to point. And if they're winning the match and they're winning the fights inside, being able to just quickly run back in and reinforce your team is super important. So I'm gonna make sure to keep an eye on that because a lot of teams tend to use that skinny door to get directly into the building. Last two ones I want to point out are catwalk. So this whole area here, this kind of bridge section, is called the catwalk. It is able to be accessed by both teams. So one of them can access it through this powerhouse, and the other one can access it just off their spawn. And it's nice because you can get a lot of nasty flanks off, especially if you're pushing. Well, I mean, from either side, you either can drop here onto this door. This is door 3. Or just get a lot of spots off the door 2 and door 1 area and really put pressure on the LAs. And that was something that we've seen a lot of the dominant teams doing, is using the catwalk more than some of the more traditionally passive players, or passive teams rather, is just putting more than one heavy on the catwalk, and you get spots off the entire map basically. It's very strong positioning, but only if you're able to hold the inside of the building as well. One last point I'll make is that so one thing that we might see is that if Dawn is struggling to push into the base, it's going to be really important that they learn that there's not only the door 1 push. They don't only have to go through this door. As I mentioned, to get to catwalk, it's just a matter of going up the stairs in this powerhouse, and then you've got clear line of sight once you leave on the kind of door 3 area towards skinny door. And it's a fantastic opportunity to set up a flank, clear off the catwalk, potentially put pressure on the LA, drop door 3, and then when you have the heavies pushing door 3, that's when you're also going to have the heavies pushing from door 1. And ideally, if you've got an LA winning the LA fight, they're going to drop dubs and push at the same time. So it's all about that coordination and pushing on Shaq. That's what really makes this map interesting.
Another thing that teams can do from this side is actually they can, if they want to, send a heavy down and around the outside to go up to dub store.
Yep, the ITZY flank. So running through the kind of swampy area here. There's a wall climb you can do up here, but I think a lot of people just prefer to run all the way around. And then from this point here, same idea as the LA drop. You've got somebody pushing from behind. The only issue, I suppose, with that flank is that it does take time. And if your team is, being pressured and you're the last man in, it's a really easy way to get staggered and get killed. We got people getting confused between skinny and small, so I'm just going to go over it. NA callouts usually use skinny and fat, so this is what I call skinny, but a lot of EU players are used to it being called small, and this is either big or fat. I guess my habit is calling it fat. I've also heard people call this entire room dubs, so depending on who's casting a match and who's playing it, you might hear different callouts.
As for other pass, or the pass for the other side, spawning from the hill, I mean, it's for the most part pretty basic. I mean, going down to dubs, they have easy access to it with, no real contention for the most part. Skinny entrance. They can go through door 3 as well if they want, but that's also a viable path for the other team to go around the outside, around door 2 to door 3, and then they can also go up on catwalk. So for routes that each team can go, it's pretty much the same, but it's just dependent on if each team uses all those options to get a good push.
One thing that we haven't banned or haven't seen banned yet is this hill, and getting a bolter up on the hill here, especially to deal with a tricky LA, can be really strong. So on this side we have Vanu, but if Vanu is really struggling to push into the building because of a strong LA, a lot of the strong bolters will start their fight on top of this hill and get spots on the LA or body shot him or ideally kill him before the rest of the team pushes into dubs. Because what that can do is prevent the LA from dropping behind you once you push in.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to be starting in 35 seconds here now. On the next tick, I think, is when we're starting.
I'm going to follow Dawn in for this, see how they play.
All right, I'll follow BRTD in and see if I can spot out what their starting composition is going to be.
Mhm.
And it looks
Match
like we have a match
started.
start.
Interesting that they're all going around Dawn taking the stairs instead of the... Oh, this is really unique. I've never seen this as a starting strat. We've got all 5 heavies and... Sorry, 4 heavies and a bolt pushing around dubs on the Itzy flank. The one that I said that, is a bit uncommon.
Oh, wow. It's gonna
BRTD
work
doesn't even
so
know
well.
that they're
They
there,
have no
conking the hell out of
idea.
the powerhouse, but completely unexpected flank.
Very
Very
unexpected,
unusual.
but LA's causing some trouble up on top of the roof, but this is definitely unprecedented on what
It was strange, but
map.
they're all conked, so now they're taking a bit to get in. Unfortunately, I would have liked to see that aggression kind of carry over because they took a bit too long pushing in, and because of that, they got punished. The people that they killed
Yeah, they're getting
respawned,
punished
pushed up
now.
to skinny stairs, and with that, BRTD wins the initial fight, -1 heavy.
It definitely
There you
looks
go.
like it. They had the right idea. Just they took way too long to push into dubs there and
I'll
clear
agree
out
with that.
server and continue to push. They
BRTD
got
capping
one
point,
pick
full
and then
building control.
stopped. Definitely full building control.
Let's see how Don plays this recap. Aboleth taking his time in the middle of the doorway, a bit unique. I do like that they're grouping together, though, and this is something that
They
even blue bracket teams will struggle with, is playing as a team. But already off the opener, one thing that I can commend TR doing really well is sticking your heavies right next to each other so you can double, triple peek.
And they're keeping that up, going up onto catwalk.
Polytechnique trying to get the VS heavy, who got his shields back. Aboleth making out with 1 HP, and I do recognize him from, I think, scrims before.
I don't think you have
Comms
game
just
sound
aren't there,
on.
though. Helms, as an LA, above door 3, gets killed by Polytechnique, but it was really Polytechnique's job to call that he needed help there and have the door 3 heavy put some pressure.
Monkey,
Moving
apparently you
sides.
don't have game sounds.
Oh.
But looks like Donna's trying to contest point. Balter doing really well on point right now, getting some good picks off. Don't having
Just gonna quickly see if this fixes the sound.
good wipe on Dawn right coming out from the VS right there. Clearing out both almost everyone. Dawn doing once again their flank around to dubs. I really like that and I'm glad to see it, but once again they're taking way too long and they're gonna get sandwiched from their spawn from reinforcements if they take too much longer.
Oh, it's scuffed. No, we're gonna have to go back, unfortunately. There we go. See if that fixes the audio. Big push in dubs. Looks like no, it's not fixed yet. I'll take a look at that.
They've been here for quite a while, actually. It's the same thing for what's happening on the opener. They're taking so long to go in and push in that they're just going to get wiped by everyone closing in from spawns.
Yeah. There we go. Sorry about that. Fixed.
Looks like Don gets swiped off of server and Dove's area, so
Mhm.
going to have VS with control of the building now. Don's going to be pushing in, but it looks like they're trickling in right now, not realizing that everyone was up. And 2 heavies just ran in and got immediately taken down on Fat.
Fragrant's interesting choice. Usually conks for the meta. Oh, big push from... Who is that? Arlax? Arslax, yeah. Big push. 3 heavies, in fact, or 3. Gonna get conked, though.
Oh, about to get conks, though.
Oh. Counter cocks up. Let's see if they push this aggro.
Polytech, being LA, is spending a lot of time inside right now. It's not going to be super helpful. As we see, VS drops down.
Is that 2 picks with the ghost? Good bolt from Tom. I really got to say that the VS bolter is making quick work of the TR heavies, and it's becoming really hard to push Fat when they have a bolter sitting on top of it. Doing a good job keeping an eye on his back, watching the dubs push. And we're seeing the gap kind of widen between BRTD at 31 points now and Dawn at 18.
I think Dawn had their bolter switch off to heavy. I don't see a bolter on their side anymore.
It is an odd choice for
They got
Chak, I
another
will
push
say. Any
going
base
into
with a
Dubs right
powerhouse.
now. Got another push
Let's go take a
coming
look
into
at Dubs
right
then.
now.
They did the same flank again, and it's not usual
But
to
they're not
see all the
expecting
heavies
it.
go through Dubs. Conk Bans
Good
back out
comps
into
coming out.
trades left and right. Looks like TR is still a man up. They should push this
Again,
though.
there's
Oh, they're playing too
taking-
passively.
They're taking way too long to push.
Yeah,
through
BRTD
that
punished them
push.
for that. They were waiting in Dubs too long. They had cleared fat. There was only skinny left. That's unfortunate. With that, we see VS once again win the building. And see how they set up their hold. It looks like they're playing more passively. They're not running out. They're not playing aggressively outside the building. They're mostly staying, you know, we see 3 on top of fat, 1 on skinny. Kind of waiting for the TR to push in. Door 3 flank set up right now. Going to skinny. That's an interesting flank. Oh, he got spotted. 2 of them. At least they're playing together. That's important. And runs right into the heavy on skinny. Oh, frag. No. Bad time.
VSLA dropping down onto door 1 again during this push. Getting a frag.
It was
traded out.
yeah, that was sloppy. I'm gonna say like the push got spotted out, and when you're spotted and you're on a big flank like that, you've got to rely on the rest of your team pushing in before you. Otherwise, you're gonna get, as we saw there, killed almost immediately as soon as you push through the door. Everyone's outside now. Let's see where the fight's been taken. Looks like VS have been lost a few numbers, but they're playing outside more than before.
Dawn once again going around to Dubs right now.
That's such a unique decision because it takes longer to get there. And I'll argue that the Dubs push is probably harder to do than the door 1, door 3 push. Because you get set up on a crossfire, like you have now, with VS on both fat and skinny. It is really hard to push through those doors.
If anyone gets wiped, they come immediately back in, either through skinny and Dubs, and kind of trap everyone in there, and you can't really reinforce them.
Bolt now set up on top of fat like he was before, and he really likes that spot, and it is a strong spot. You get good line of sight on door 1, door 3, and you can watch for Dubs push. LA watches for the other LA to push up, and VS LA wins that fight.
And he's going to drop down and take out another heavy. Comes around, takes out another.
Both LAs are running skirmisher jets as well, so that's an interesting choice because we've seen a lot of blue bracket teams start to use Icarus jump jets as their preferred jump jet, only because you can get to the roof so much quicker. But, you know, there is something to be said. Skirmisher jets are a bit sneakier, and if you can get up quickly, then... if you can get up, silently, then it sometimes doesn't matter if you can get up quickly or not. Good shots from Helmsby. Blackhand is a very good pick.
Definitely has a very good hold on this. They almost immediately, with how much Dawn is sticking together, it's almost as soon as they spot out one, they can almost safely rotate people over to cover where the push is coming from. Because the LA always drops the 1 or 2 other people that are pushing in from a different angle. So
I like
BRTD.
I like how sorry, go finish.
Really good work.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. I like how BRTD is kind of learning that that Dawn is consistently pushing through Dubs, and every once in a while they'll have 2 heavies peek out just to make sure that there's nobody stacking up out there, make sure they're not going to get pushed all of a sudden from behind. LA's kind of waiting on the drop, which is important. I think he might be spotted though because there's 2 heavies here waiting for the drop. And I hear a bolt as well down on fat. Prodigal pushing out pretty aggressively, doing the same things I said, looking for people. Maybe there's a flank. Door 3 push at this point. Polytechnique wins the LA 1v1.
Yeah, they wins the LA 101. So now's the time if they want to. They have numbers right now. They can get a push going if they push up to door 3 and then go through door 1 while the LA...
I think took too long on this though. The LA respawn is pretty quick on Chak, and just like that, Helmsby is back in the fight. Polytechnique doesn't know his timings and gets punished because of that. I think he gets away, but that was luck. Yeah, he should have been really paying attention to when the LA comes back. It's a short timer.
Definitely very short, and then I think Dawn just... They have good pushes, they get the picks that they need to, but then they don't follow up. They take way too long to get in.
To push back in, yeah.
Wipe out the rest, because this getting back into this building on both sides is actually pretty quick from both teams. So if you get picks, you gotta go.
You gotta aggro it. You gotta push in. Yeah, you can't play passively. Oh no, unfortunate. So we saw like
Good
2 or
LA
3 heavies
drop.
push fat, and then then 2 behind them, but they didn't clear off the LAs or anybody on the flank, so they got pushed from behind and wiped almost immediately. So that's another wipe for VS. Point gap continues to widen.
Helmsby making really good work right now as the LA. Almost every push that Don has, he's dropping behind them as they're going in and clearing at least 1 or 2 heavies off that push. It's doing really good work. His timing is great.
Bolts on both sides are doing a good job as well, I'm going to say. They are the most positive for, not red, but definitely for, and actually for neither team, but they're definitely doing good work in terms of getting spots out, because I've noticed that when the heavies are being pushed, they're aware because Bolt's got spots on them, and also just body shotting and getting damage assists. So maybe that's something that we're seeing in orange bracket more than blue bracket, where the Bolts might not be as strong enough to get headshots all the time, but just even getting a body shot here or there or an amp or something can really, really change the flow of the battle. Polytechnic, again, no Icarus jump jets, slow to the roof, gets killed. Again, Dubs push. Yeah. I don't know if he knows that he's there.
That's not the point, it gets taken out.
Oh, he knows. And gets killed. I'm going back to roof. I'm gonna follow this LA game for a little bit.
Starting to trickle in now. I've seen one person always running upstairs, 1 or 2 people going up fast stairs while there's other people on dubs. Not really pushing together anymore. It's started to split up a lot more.
Mm-hmm. Almost be on the chimney, very strong spot to be in. He's running Icarus jump jets. I'm not sure if he changed to that or if he was running that before, but that's what I would call the meta pick, especially on the chimney side.
Actually,
Gotta land your shots though.
Polytechnic switches to heavy and Frederick
Doesn't matter
switches
because you have
to
a
LA.
you have a horizon. Ooh, Prodigal on the respawn. See, so Dubs is normally the side that the VS would push from, so the TR are getting caught out of position when the VS go on respawn and then quickly get to Dubs.
Yeah, so the flanks, I mean, it could work sometimes, but sending 3-4 people there, it's not really effective because if one person gets picked and they're coming back, that entire flank gets spotted and it's not going to be very effective.
I'll reiterate,
anymore.
like that Dubs push, looks like they're doing it again. That Dubs push is hard because VS get fat and skinny, and pushing in through Dubs is hard. You don't have to on this side. They're making it harder on themselves than they need to. Like, it's a good flank for 1 or 2 people to go on, but sending your whole team there means that, you know, you're not getting any pressure from door 1 or door 3. So all the heavies and bolts here have to do is just focus on Dubs. They don't need to worry about what's happening behind them because all the heavies are pushing from Dubs side. Okay, here we've got a good fat push. Let's see how this plays.
Good fat push, but it's only 2 people. That's.
Then again, I think they got
One
picks
heavy
before.
coming, door 1 comes in.
I like picks. Prodigal cleans up on top fat, leaving nobody in server. Looks like BRTD successfully wiped out the Dawn players. Go check outside where Dawn is stacking up.
Looks like they're running into their powerhouse right now, going to door 1 currently.
They gotta get conks out and they gotta push, because if they don't get building control, then it's gonna be hard. Okay, 3 conks. Maybe that's excessive. And they conk themselves, I think. Yeah, they just conk themselves.
Helmsby wins another fight for the LA and is going to immediately take out Polytechnic on door 1 and probably going to take out the next heavy.
Oh, they just got sandwiched. That was rough.
Helmsby.
I don't know if they're not running Ox Shield or something, but, you know, if you're gonna conk, you gotta expect to be counter-conked, and you gotta put more people in just door 1 push. Because this has been the issue with Dawn's pushes the entire time, is yes, they're playing as a team, crazy important, of course, but they're all playing as a team. They have nobody on the flank, so the VS can just focus in one direction only and not have to worry about their back.
And I don't know if the LAs aren't calling off when the Helmsby is free, but almost every single time the LA loses a fight, they get dropped and no one's even looking at Helmsby dropping door 1.
Mm-hmm. Is that the Kindred? That's a not meta choice for the Carbine, but, you know, maybe he's just not doing well with the Lynx or the Jaguar. Door 3 push now. Let's see how this plays out. Oh no, they're going to skinny. Again, skinny. The really wide flanks. This is
Shifty.
It's so strange to see a whole team, you know, flank all the way to the doors where VS would be spawning in from.
And it's never good because when you have that many people going on that flank, just like you saw from Shifty coming in, he spots out the 2, and then everyone knows, and they can't push in, and eventually.
Yep, and Accent can clean that up quickly. The timers is just so important. I think that they're neglecting to remember just how fast you can get from spawn to the doors. Like, on respawn, it takes only a few seconds to jump to Skinny Door or Dubs. And if you've taken, 3 minutes for your whole team to, that's excessive, but 30 seconds for your team to stack up outside Dubs only to get killed by a respawning VS Heavy, then, well, you're stuck. I'd like to see them use Door 1 and Door 3, and maybe even Catwalk a little more than they are now. Fights happening outside Dubs again. Looks like they've broken up their forces a bit, which is good. So they're doing that kind of split push that I was talking about. But it's got to be split and pushed at the same time. So here we see that the Dubs push happened much earlier than any Door 1 or Door 3 push, so they got wiped. Check, just watching for Door 3. Oh, that is halftime. Good half. I will flip to the halftime thing. Yeah.
Dawn, for sure. That's hopefully that now that they're going to be on the hillside of the space, their options of doing such wide flanks isn't going to be as prevalent. Hopefully they just get inside the building and try and take control of the building and, or, get some good pushes through Dubs and Skinny. I think I was talking about hopefully that the orange teams know that they have different routes to go into and different flanking routes to go into, but I was definitely not expecting for an entire
that
team
much.
to go
Yeah, I know, to go on the flanks. You know what? I will give them though that they're doing better than I've seen most teams do in the sense that they are playing together. I've seen like top tier teams fall apart and push in one at a time, and that's not an issue that I see that they're having. The issue is that even if you push as a whole team and you kind of death ball in, if you're only deathballing through one door and you're pushing into like a crossfire, it doesn't matter if you have 6 players or 20 players, you're gonna get wiped. Let's take a look at the scores here. I don't know if you have them up as well. We're looking at 46 points for Dawn, 120 for BRTD, so that's more than doubled, almost tripled in one half. So that's brutal.
Very close, and I gotta give it. I think Helmsby easily the reason behind that, because almost every push from Dawn he was behind, taking out 1 or 2 heavies, and his score definitely reflects it. Yep.
In terms of individual scores, we'll start on the Dawn side. So mostly double negatives. We got Frederick 1 at -12, General WM1 at -15 with only 6 kills that entire match. Alrissa at 13, who did pretty well, I'd say, as a heavy. I saw them on the flank pretty often, and I think that they did a good job, trading off in 1v1s and stuff. But yeah, it just comes down to if your whole team's pushing in one door, you're going to get stomped. Polytechnique, -15, unfortunately. I saw him get killed quite a few times by the LA. Aboleth or Bolt -7, which is unfortunate because usually Bolt presence is really important. They might have swapped off, I think you mentioned though, so that would explain why if he wasn't playing Bolt the whole time. And then last is the LA Sarforial at -11 with only 6 kills. So in general, this is just a low fragging match for the Dawn side. Like, they've died a lot, yes, but they've also just not gotten a lot of kills. So that's like, they need to play more to their aggression and start pushing from more than one angle at a time. Do you want to go over the BRTD scores?
Yeah, I kind of got Axton at a net score of 11, Prodigal at net 1, Torn Falcon at 7, Erg at 8, and once again Helmsby with the huge carry currently at +24, which is insane for just
top frag in the match too, I'll note. And as an LA, so I'm not saying that the LA can't be top frag. I mean, Dudis was top frag for most of the games in his team for PIL2, but it's unusual, I would say, for Chak for one, because it's not always like LAs are important, but not usually the top frags. But also for just a new team in general, I'd expect like one of the strong heavies to kind of clean up inside. But it looks like, I don't know if he's their strongest player or just he's not getting punished properly as an LA. But yeah, he's doing fantastic for his team, both getting spots, damage, assists, and kills. So good work for him.
Yeah, and then Shifty on +14. So all of them playing really, really, really well. Helmsley, I think, is definitely behind that, just because the Dawn pushes don't have their full strength because they always are getting shot in the back, and where they're getting shot in the back, they can't have anyone protecting them because they're pretty much inside the BRTD's spawn almost, and they can't get any reinforcements to help them in those pushes into server and stuff like that. So hopefully we can see Dawn change up, play more aggressive, because they definitely did have good pushes going into server, but when they got those 1 or 2 picks, they kind of just sat there and were afraid to continue to push.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
So
I'll
hopefully
agree
they
with that.
play with a lot more aggression, and when they get 1 or 2 picks, just
Roll with
continue to
it.
push in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is
'cause
something that
if you have numbers, always push.
this is something that that the backs team that I play with kind of had to learn as well. Is we sometimes play two individually. So the moment we start playing, together, bunched up, and actually like trying to play as a team, it becomes very easy to become too passive. And I think that might be the issue that we're seeing with Dawn here. Is that yes, they're playing as a team, which is fantastic, but they've also got to, like, even though you lose men, if you've got to push with 5 people and you've got 3 kills each, you got to push those last 2 people and see what happens. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck out there on respawn, especially if you push it in through a flank where the respawn timer on the other team is going to be faster than your own. You just got to go with it.
And another thing is that flanks are meant to be done by 1, at most 2 people, because you want your main group to be the focus of where everyone's defending, and then have those 1 or 2 people come in and shoot someone in the back to clear up numbers for the main group to go in. So if you send your main group onto a usual flank, that's no longer the flank, that's actually the main front, and then people going through door 1 and 2 are actually on the flank.
User joined your channel.
Hello.
Hello.
Just heads up that Shifty is being subbed out for Bum Head for the second half for BRTD.
Okay.
I've updated the script already.
Sounds good.
Cool. Get jumping back down.
Yep.
User left your channel.
Interesting sub. I know he was positive, so I'm curious to see why they did that. Maybe they just wanted to give everyone else a chance to play. I know that with this much of a point gap at this point, if you want to sub in some of your weaker players to get them some play time, would not be a bad move by any means. So we'll see how Bum Head plays. God, that's strange to say.
I'm excited to see Bum Head play. It's very exciting to see that play now. Amazing name.
Both teams guzzling medkits at the Sunday. I don't know if they're going to run out of nanites or what, but funny to watch. Just waiting on the ref at this point. Both teams, I assume, talking strats and looking at what they did wrong, what they did right. I mean, I focused on what TR's been doing wrong, I guess, and what they can improve on, but that's not to say that VS has been doing everything perfect either. I'd like to see some more aggression from them. Like, even though 100+ point gap is not, or 80+ point gap is nothing to be scoffed at, like, that's fantastic, I think that they could have been even more oppressive with that. There were a lot of times where they'd finished wiping the TR players and then just chilled inside the powerhouse. And yeah, passive plays can be useful, but at the same time, if you have the opportunity to at least get some spots, even if you're not committing to kills, can really be important to preventing a push in the future. So I'd like to see when VS gets those team wipes, that they're pushing out of the building, even just to get spots, just so that they're not, standing on fat, twiddling their thumbs, or sitting on point, not doing anything. It'd be nice to see them actually, playing a bit more aggressively. If they've got the 1v1 capabilities, then actually trading off for kills or getting some kills earlier rather than later. But we'll see. That could just be the kind of the team's strat, is to play more slow and set up the crossfires like they've been doing on Fat and Skinny, which works for them. But at the same time, when they do get wipes, it'd be nice to see them play to that strength. Push the TR as far as they can out. Really use the numbers that you have. All right. I think that fixed any audio bugs, so let's see if that keeps consistent.
Except for your mic. Good.
I had just alt tabbed to fix it, but it looks like it broke it. So there you go. Maybe alt tabbing is what breaks it. Who knows? Blindside is a fickle game.
Maybe. Who knows?
I'm curious to see how the TR choose to play the open, or whether they're going to go on some massive flank again, or whether they're going to just do the traditional dubs and skinny push.
Or are they going to do the B hot push?
I don't
let's
think they
find
have the
out.
confidence right now to do a B hot push.
I don't know. Maybe that's just what they need.
Maybe. I don't know. The LA game is already kind of tricky with Helmsby in the air, so they're going to get spotted and killed. Nothing worse than seeing, you know, a big flank only for it to get crushed. It was like the 4 LA, 5 LA push from I against RA when the RA LAs were just sitting on top of the chimneys shooting fish in a barrel. Like that's the kind of thing. Oh, it looks like match has started. No countdown from the ref, unfortunately. BRTD using a traditional kind of approach to opening with 2 on the flank.
Going straight into skinny.
So good change then. BRTD going for the same flank as Don did. Oh, we're gonna catch the bolt right out of position. I don't know why the bolts alone should be with the heavy. Big conks on fat and skinny. 1 on point dead.
Definitely.
General goes down to top fat. Top fat's pushing down skinny now.
White.
Yeah, that looks like a wipe. He's gonna cap the point. I don't think he's worried about anyone pushing in. Oh, but right like that. Quick on the uptake. That's what I want to see. Axton, even though he doesn't have people with him, he knows that there's no TR, so he's okay to push in and use that aggression. Prodigal pushing all the way through skinny. Doesn't know there's 3 heavies in there. Gets a double peek together. Doesn't die. Fantastic, fantastic play. They just won a 2v3. And this guy's stuck out here. Oh, get your gun up, dude. Wins that. Nice. Punishes Axton for pushing a bit too aggressively. Oh, double conk to Bolt. Yeah, Bob Bolter's just, help me. I'm so conked.
Yeah, here's some aggression from BRTD.
Rick goes down.
Wiping out
to
3
go
on
down.
skinny.
The one thing that I've got to give BRTD props for is
And
LA
just
drops
and wipes the Bolter.
swoops in behind. One thing I got to give him props for is being able to pass off, like push one heavy, and then when he gets his shields broken, he backs off and lets his buddy take over for him. And that's something that I think Don might be able to improve on, is learning that when you're low, swap off with a heavy on your team. Once again, we're seeing a big skinny push all alone here, conked. The other problem with pushing all at once is that if you're not running Ox Shield and 1 or 2 conks come your way, your whole team is conked now and you can't push. Prodigal cleaning up on skinny but gets traded off. And Erg nearly killing Polytechnique bottom skinny, but Polytechnique gets away. He's for sure spotted though and gets punished. Yep, that's pretty much what I expected.
And you're seeing this from BRTT Torn. Keeping almost that entire dubs flank really locked down as that bolt. It's super strong. I don't know if Don's just too scared to push that bolt.
I mean, I would
really
be.
Only letting them,
He's so aggressive at this point.
Skinny.
Yep. It's really so
We have a good
playing
push on
as.
though.
See how that goes. Speaking as an LA main, it's really LA's job to deal with the bolt when the bolt's that far out, and it's just not possible with Helmsby on the roof. Oh, trades out on skinny, but mostly TR winning that. TR dies on top fat, and unfortunately the LA, as I mentioned, Helmsby, yep. Big skinny drop. Gets chased by the TRLA, but the TRLA just comes in a bit late and is going to get punished for running inside. Oh no. You hate to see it.
Very close.
Last TR heavy
running in
alone
up
on point.
skinny.
No, it looks like they're trickling now. No, that was a bad
Much
push. Should have
kinda
waited.
Ran straight up skinny and just got.
Yeah, that was 1 at a time. They
immediately
should have just
taken
taken
out.
that half second, grouped up. That would have been a better push. And the LA again
another
pushing
good
in the
drop.
skinny door. So one thing, I'm gonna go to the roof to show this, stream this. So when you're in LA and you're spawning in and you're trying to get a flank on the skinny door, like you get spotted so quickly from the TR side on the roof. So it's super important that your team is communicating when you get kills. Otherwise, you're gonna get spotted before you drop and get shot in the back. So it's good to see that the VS at least have that communication really strong, so that the LA is free to know, you know, it's safe to drop, or you know, I should expect a respawn. Erg trades out a skinny push, so it's a 1v1 trade. One cap not getting any wider, so that's good. So actually only a little bit wider, about 100 points from 80 at the start of the half. But better second half, I would say.
Finally see a good push from Don coming in right now. Almost taking out the Bolter. But the LA just comes in, cleans up another 2 heavies. So once again, Helmsby being Thorn and Don's side no matter where they push.
This double peek is just nasty. Jesse's out, trying to get that. No, it gets killed by the VS heavy, unfortunately.
Helmsby dropping down and taking out the guy that was on point pillar. As
Axtan. Oh, he spots out all the TR. They're gonna be stuck. Now the VS know that they're gonna be pushing dubs. Bolt's out on the rocks, and the rest of the heavies are waiting for this push because, yeah, they were all spotted. Not much you can do. So, let's see how Habit plays this. He's in the spot where I talked about.
Helmsby finally goes down.
It's a body on Prodigal. Another body. Can't finish. He still knows that there's a heavy there. Erg pushing out. Prodigal taking his sweet time. Oh no, both had to reload. General really needs to call it that he needs help. There we go. That's the shot we were looking for. Bolt's trying to aggro with his team. Put some pressure on Dub. Unfortunately, the VS Bolt is also out and body shotting. Ooh, good shot from Aboleth.
This is the time that this is when they need to push. They've gotten two.
Yeah, they've gotten 2 picks and a Bolt pick at that. Like, this is really when they got to be aggroing. Like, W key into that building. Looks like they are.
And the
They're going
LA's
for skinny.
traded, so this is where they need to go.
Oh, Axton just a bit late, not knowing that they're on top of Fat already. Bit of miscommunication from VS there, but they recover, and the skinny push ends up wiping the TR side. I think that was definitely a good effort from TR. I would have only improved by pushing a little faster. They might have won that, but I think just in terms of sheer 1v1 ability, we saw VS take that edge there.
I think as soon as they got that pick on the bolter, and then when the LA's traded, I mean, that was the time for them to go. The LA is not going to be dropping behind them, and there's no bolt that's going to immediately pick them off. So if they push as a group, they still have their bolter and can really get,
LA versus LA 1v1, and dies very quickly to Helmsby. I mean, Horizon is a good weapon, so if you're not watching him when you get shot at, you're going to go down pretty quick. Look at this, 2 picks from Alrisax. That's fantastic, but goes down to the LA. Still, 2 for 1 trade, not bad.
That'd be a good
Sorry, it's
play,
Alrisax. Really interesting weapon choices here from the TRLA. I've heard a couple different cycles through trying different weapons out. I don't know if the weapon is really what's going to help.
Oh no, Helmsby getting a really good drop, taking out 3 heavies actually.
Only the bolt left. No, why were you out so far? He was like standing here, could have been all the way in the corner, wouldn't have got spotted. Unfortunately, they're all spotted on the push now. Tom, Falcon, just oppressive push outside of Dubs, and General gets punished for it. The boxes here are nice, but you're kind of stuck once you're there.
I'm really impressed by Helmsby's play right now. He's extremely good LA. He knows
plus
he
39.
knows
Like
his
this is blue bracket material, I would say.
Hands someone off a spawn in the head. Oh no, kills him immediately. Helmsby's playing it, but he knows his drops. He knows when to drop down behind and get picks on people when they're pushing through. Like,
good. I'm gonna attribute that
drop.
to VS Comms, because I don't think that, like, yes, of course he's a strong LA, but just knowing, like, right there, he knew that there was people at door 3. He probably knew how many there were. The VS team is just communicating so much better than the TR team right now is, and it's really showing. The VS is just so quick to respond to the TR pushes. TR pushes just they're a bit too slow, and they're getting spotted out and still pushing, which is a mistake sometimes. Sometimes you just wait for the spot to time out or get a flank going on, so even if you're spotted, you have pressure from another side.
Another push into Skinny. They get one. Dawn gets one pick.
Good shot from Helmsby. Black hand. Whoops. Oh my gosh.
Oh, pushing through door 1. That's interesting. They get
Stuck inside the building.
one pick, but again, it gets cleaned up once again. Just super strong hold on top of Fat and Skinny, keeping just
point gap
locked
incredibly wide now. 110, almost 120 points with all the VS positive and all the TR negative. Good recap or cap from VS there, so that's gonna be plus 9 points if they didn't already have that. Aboleth goes down at Skinny. Good shots from the Orion. Not always the most accurate gun at range, so good.
Good push by Dawn, coming up Skinny and in through Dubs at the same time. This is what they need to do.
Unfortunately,
Helmsby with the
yeah.
oh,
1 HP. Alrissa on top, but gets pushed by. He gets the trade.
Wow.
Fantastic play. Fantastic.
Really good job.
Yep. That wasn't a good job. This was a mistake. He shouldn't have pushed in alone. Still got the trade, but yeah. Alrisa had a fantastic play there. Getting the trade off was important. Okay, big dubs push, and they don't have numbers right now, so they need to get a pick or two and then push hard. Get a flank going on maybe. I'd like to see door 3 presence. I don't think there's anybody there, but
Wow,
no, they're all
super
inside.
aggressive play from the bolter, just running around the corner with an underboss.
Yep.
Helmsby once again.
Oh, good shot from Tom. Alrisa barely gets out. I will note Alrisa is probably the strongest player on Dawn. Net 0 right now with the rest of his team in double digits negative.
Yeah, playing super strong, and he was the one that was actually waited for Helmsby to drop and took out Helmsby.
Frederick trades
the
one
Dawn
but
push
dies.
Gets wiped out.
See how Bum Bum does this push, whether he's going to aggro it. He does aggro it and gets the headshot. Clean shot.
Bump head with the good old clean headshot from the Kami.
Yeah, he's a good sub, I would say. He's plus 14 only in one half. Like, that's better than a lot of his team is doing. Helmsby at plus 40. Like, that's just ridiculous.
Plus
At
40 with 57
yeah,
kills.
that's just something else.
Winning the LA fight again, as
usual. I mean, there's a point where sometimes you just have to decide, hey, we're going to go to LA because we can't deal with the 1v1 LA. And maybe that's the call to make, or maybe the call is just...
pushing in through door 1 right now, going up fat. Well,
see if the skinny door pushes as well. He's waiting too long. You got to push that faster because now all your door 1 is going to be dead. Yep, and now they're on skinny.
The problem is they're doing it again. They went all the way around to door 1, and as soon as, like, with how they push, as soon as you get picks, they're going to be coming in behind you.
I think that could have worked if the skinny push had happened 3 seconds earlier, because he waited too long and all the VS heavies had time to rotate. Good conks out. Unfortunately, you don't want to conk when you're sitting on top of the stairs. Oh no, the crossfires. This is tough. You're a bolt with an underboss on top of skinny, should have your gun out. And VS win that once again, wiping the TR, and everyone is on respawn right now. Tom, really strong on the rocks, gets away with 1 HP, kills Alrisa. Let's see how General plays this. No, General. Was that a TK? No, it wasn't a TK. I thought it was. Goes down, unfortunately, yeah. Tom's on the rocks, and really that's the LA's job to deal with. There's no way that you can pressure a bolt like this, except through the roof. But with Helmsby on the roof, goes down. So this is your chance. This is your chance to kill that bolt. You gotta do it quick. Let's see where the stack is. Looks like a couple trades out. Holding down left mouse button kills the 2 out at skinny. Not really any aiming required. You can just hipfire that. Tight hipfire in the Orion. And Bolt once again sitting out dubs for running a push from that side.
And Helmsby
winning the 1-1.
out.
I really want to see
be able to get there.
Yeah, I want to see Sarfariel start using one of the meta weapons. Like, pick up a Jaguar, you got the .75. Pick up a Lynx, you got the close range. Even a Cougar if you're looking for some good range. See how that plays out, because I think right now trying...
Bolt fight.
You know, yeah, it's just
not going to work.
More of a, again, kind of a passive hold from VS here. Looks like they're pushing skinny now. Oh, a bit late on that medkit. Kills General, who had conked skinny only to run to point with no one else on his team doing a flank. I don't know what his plan was. Even if he got into the point, what was he going to do?
Torn's still on this rock, causing massive trouble for the Dawn.
Is it Torn? I called him Tom.
Yeah, I think it's Torn. It's okay.
The R in the end looks so close to...
He's still been on this rock, though. He's been on this rock for almost the entirety of this half.
And it's so hard to push. Like, you've really only got one angle. I'm gonna move my camera down so you can see. When you're behind this rock, you can't get shot from down there. Like, you could put a heavy there, nothing's gonna happen. The only way you're gonna get pushed is from the roof or from inside. And if you've got inside control, it's really up to the LA. And unfortunately, the LA got bolted.
And he also has Helmsby to deal with. He has to take him out first before he can go and take out Torn. So
it's just a combo of a
anchor.
Combo of a strong LA and a bolt just in a really nasty position. LA goes down. Alrisa aggroing with 1 HP but goes down to Axstan, who also kills Polytechnique. Fantastic. And Frederick. Okay, so Axstan getting a three-man win. Where's he going to play now? Looks like he's going for, again, a bit of a passive hold at door 3. Oh no, he's holding outside. That's good. Get spots up. General switching off, I believe, to the NS-15 if he hadn't been using that already. Maybe the MSW just wasn't working for him. And unfortunately goes down to Bumbo Head on Skinny. And Frederick and Aboleth at Dubs. Getting killed by... Oh no. Getting killed by the Bolt and the Heavy. That's tricky. These pushes are happening in silos. These, like, we've got 3 here, 2 there, but I like that they're splitting up. Like, that's what I had asked for, but you gotta push it together, otherwise there's really no point. Helmsby goes down, trades off the open. That's time.
Man, that's time, and that's Helmsby. I mean,
Look at the score.
great display from Helmsby. Oh, I know, it's insane. I mean, Helmsby definitely, I gotta say, is 100% the rock for the success of the team on this map, just because almost every dawn push was immediately dropped from behind by Helmsby and taken out. I mean, his timing was impeccable throughout this match.
I'm gonna go over the scores just real quick so people can get a feel for just how big of a gap there was between these two teams. So we've got Dawn at 91 points. They couldn't even break 100, and that's hard when you're on the team. Like, I've been in these situations. Not being able to break 100 points means that you're really struggling to even get inside the building, which is what we saw. BRTD, on the other hand, 262 points. That was a frag-heavy match. We've got top frag of the game at 65 kills, and I'm going to tell you, 65 kills, no matter what game you're playing in, no matter what team you're on, like, that is a lot of kills, especially for a map like, well, Chak has a lot of kills on it for sure, but just especially for a map with potentially long sight lines and people who might back into cover here and there, like, 65 kills is very impressive. Plus 43 for his team, big carry. Axtan next top at plus 30 net. Followed by, looks like, Bum Head tied with Torn, Falcon, the Bolt at plus 16 each. And we saw the Bolt doing good work, you know, getting spots off and just preventing pushes from Dubs. Oh, scores are gone, unfortunately. Looks because they're server hosted, I can't keep them locally.
Bum Head actually coming in and getting 22 kills and 7 deaths in that half, which is really good.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, what do you want to say about that? That was a tricky match for TR, I think. I think VS pretty substantially had a lead for the entire game there, and we're just really good at keeping the TR from pushing into the base. But I would attribute this win, yes, of course, to VS's skill, but I really think that the TR were missing something in their pushes. Like, Dawn's pushes were just either too clumped up together and you had your whole team pushing at once, or if they did separate, which is what I wanted to see, they weren't pushed in at the same time. So you've got 2 pushing at once, they die, and then gives the VS heavies time to rotate, kill the remaining heavies on the next flank. So there's not really that coordination, that communication that we need to see.
I mean, looking from the at least the first half, I don't think there was that much of a skill gap between Dawn and BRTD. The only thing that I really